So because of recent events here in the United States, we are now hearing that many states are concerned and are worried because of what they are currently facing. Today I want to break down what just happened because we have a port strike that just took effect yesterday. We are still reeling from Hurricane Helene, and now we have a potential war in the Middle East. But today I want to address the discount stores. We've been getting a lot of comments, emails, people reaching out about the concerns that they are facing, what we are about to see in our communities. Today I want to break this down because this is going to impact every single one of us. So, in just a moment, I'll break all this down, but all I ask is one thing. It takes 2 seconds. Go ahead, hit that like button if you enjoy these daily updates. And now, let's begin. So first, I want to address where we are going to see problems. Listen to this. I'm going to give you a kind of summed up breakdown of what this person told me. This person wrote to me and says, with a supply chain shortage upon us due to port strikes, we will see discount grocers go under. This includes, Dollar Tree, right? Any of the discount stores are selling things for $1, the 99-cent store. These stores are going to struggle. Person says, but why? It's simple. Discount grocery stores get deals on their products. They sell items that are closer to their expiration date. But with a port strike, the larger grocers are going to get these items first. So, they won't be passing them off to discount stores, meaning stores like Dollar Tree or on the West Coast, Grocery Outlet, and others will need to find other ways to secure food, or they will go out of business. Well, listen to this. This person wrote to me and said, and I quote, "It has been less than 24 hours and we are already seeing difficulties getting food to our store. My fruit supplier can't promise any new deliveries now because the big grocers have locked them up. So now we sit and wait and hope that this strike won't drag on for too long." Okay. This is going to severely disrupt our supply chain. According to reports, for every 1 day that this strike drags on, it will take potentially 6 to 7 days to clear the ports. Okay? So every 1 day, it will push us back about a week. That's troubling. So after 52 days, we would be behind by 1 full year. That would be a massive disruption, especially when they say it is going to cost the economy anywhere between $5 to $7 trillion, actually $billion per day. That would be huge. Okay? Huge disruption. I want to read you another comment. And the reason why I want to read you this comment is because this is another huge concern. But first I want to show you this. It says U.S. dock workers strike could make it difficult to get these grocery items. These are things like fruits, vegetables, right? Certain cheeses, anything coming from Europe, wine, okay, certain meats, stuff from the deli. Yeah, this is going to be a huge issue. But let me read you this, because something else happened just this past week. This person says, and I quote, "Nobody has said anything about this yet, so I'm not sure if you know. But a lot of the grocery stores that were hit in Hurricane Helene are now trying to rebuild and get their food to their communities. But my friend just told me that because of this worker strike and food being stuck in transport, that our communities may be without food for weeks, if not months." I talked about this just briefly, and maybe I should have went into a little more depth here, but here's what's going on. So all those cities, the towns, the areas that were affected because of the hurricane and because of the storm surge, what we experienced. I'm over on the West Coast, so when I say we, talk more of a nation, but what we experienced with that hurricane is people were pushed out of their homes. They had to flee the city because water kept rising. I talked to a friend of mine who does have a grocery store. It's a smaller one. He does have a grocery store over on the East Coast. He was impacted. He will probably be closed down for potentially a month, maybe a few weeks to a month, because they got to fix the water damage. They had to clear all the shelves that again, the water rose. And so, they did lose a lot of product. But you can still go in and you can still buy stuff, but they're kind of going through a renovation phase, or they will once they open up. But what he was telling me was interesting. He said that all the stores, and his store included, they lost thousands of dollars of inventory, okay, of all this food. They had to just throw it away. Couldn't do anything with it because it got wet, right? It's starting to mold. You can't salvage that stuff. So it was all garbage. And so now he needs to replace that. Here's the problem. There is a strike, yeah, but now truckers are trying to just get any work that they can. And so he's now trying to deal with new companies that are just trying to find work, move products here, there, wherever. And so now he's trying to deal with more suppliers, okay, more and new truckers, because his suppliers don't have the inventory that they need. Everyone's trying to take it because they're all trying to refill their shelves in these certain communities that, well, the communities are looking for food, looking for water, looking for medicine and things like that. They just want to get back to normal life. They want their home back, right? And so that's what he was telling me, is that now with this port strike, we are seeing that, okay, yeah, there's less food coming into the United States, right? We knew that was coming. But what we didn't realize is that was going to happen right after a hurricane where all these regions, these grocery stores are trying to restock their shelves, right? And then on top of that, all these homes, and again, granted, people don't have, millions of dollars, that every single person doesn't, where they can just go to the grocery store and buy everything that they had in their pantry. No. So now all these people that lost all their food in the hurricane now have to replace that food. And again, they're not going to buy it all at one time, but they go and buy a bunch of food, put it back in their new pantry or on shelves or whatever they can, right? So that they can eat and live. And so they have to go get new food because they lost theirs. So they go to the grocery store and get the new food. Now the grocery store needs more food. So they go to their supplier. Sorry, we don't have that much food because we're trying to supply groceries to all these people. That is what my friends tell me. That is part of the problem. And as they see this problem compound and more people are trying to get food, suppliers are struggling, people are going further and further and further, inland. Well, guess what? Eventually, it's going to hit the West Coast. So it's not just an East Coast problem. This is going to compound and this is going to follow everybody. So if there's a little bit of an issue with grocery over on the East Coast, it's going to hit the West Coast eventually. Now, I want to show you something else. This I thought was interesting. Look at this right here. California is going to ban sell-by and best before labels. It says the state wants to end the guessing game over if the food in the fridge is still good. Interesting. So they're going to ban sell-by and best before labels. Now, this is supposed to take effect starting in July of 2026. But I want to read you something. Okay, I want to read you kind of what they're looking at right here. Now, it says that the law is set to take effect in July of 2026, establishing a new standard for food labeling in California. It will require the use of best if used by label to signal peak quality and use by label for product safety, an approach recommended by federal agencies. Okay. Now I wanted to show you this because this is something that, again, I have some friends on the East Coast that some own grocery stores, some work in or manage. But one of the things that they have said is that it's interesting that people look at the Best Buy, sell by dates, and they think, it's getting close. Probably get a discount there. This is how stores like Grocery Outlet here on the West Coast, this is how they operate. If it gets closer to that sell by date, guess what? It's cheaper. It is a cheaper product because you have to consume it much sooner than you would something that could sit on the shelf for 2 to 6 months. But I wanted to show you this mainly because I think this is interesting. The timing of all this is interesting. People on the West Coast are just looking, or on the East Coast are just looking for food to put in their pantries. But in the state of California, they're not just looking for food, but they're trying to change the words so that it's not as confusing whether the food is good to consume or not. But again, let me know your thoughts on that as well. I just want to add this in here because I know a lot of people are, currently looking at prices and food and, not really is it good or is it bad? What does it taste like? They're just worried about, can I eat it? Is it something I can afford? If it is, great. Put it in the cart. Let's go. So I will leave you with that, but let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. What do you think is going to happen because of this port strike, because of Hurricane Helene, and all the issues that we're facing right now? Let me know down in the comment section below, but that is what I have for you guys today. So again, thank you guys for watching. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.